Seraphina and the Five Elemental Guardians. Chapter 1. The Klutzy Elemental. Once upon a time, in the heartland of the mystical kingdom of Aria, with its emerald meadows, icy peaks, and lush forests, there was a small village named Lumen. Every creature, from the mighty bears roaming the shadowy forests to the delicate hummingbirds fluttering among the vibrant flowers, lived in harmony. At the heart of this idyllic village lived a spirited young girl named Seraphina, remembered fondly by all for her infectious laughter, fiery spirit, and notorious clumsiness. Her parents, Maris and Theron, were simple villagers who loved their lively daughter dearly. They knew she was special, but they were yet to discover how truly extraordinary their daughter was. Everyday occurrences like baking bread or washing clothes with Seraphina turned into grand adventures, with wind gusts flinging clothes all over the village square or kitchen fires evoking rain showers. They would lovingly sigh and claim, "Our Seraphina could summon a storm in a teacup." And one fateful day, she did exactly that. During her 16th name day celebration, Seraphina was given a beautiful antique locket, passed down through countless generations. Mystifying symbols adorned its silver surface, shimmering in a brilliant array of colors. The moment Seraphina clasped it around her neck, it resonated with a radiant energy, and she mysteriously summoned a swirling tempest in her teacup. It was then they knew she was an elemental, a possessor of innate magic linked to the elements. As the news spread, Seraphina's life took a dramatic turn. She became the talk of the kingdom, and the king and queen, Olaf and Alara, summoned her to the royal castle. Yet, the fame didn't excite her. It was the chance to learn more about her abilities that thrilled Seraphina. What she didn't realize was just how hard it would be to control these elemental forces. In the royal castle resided the stoic Queen Alara, known for her steely demeanor, and King Olaf with his huge royal wig, which he wore with pride. Seraphina, despite her best intentions, managed to dislodge the royal wig with an unexpected gust during a solemn ceremony. The sight of the flying wig brought forth waves of hearty laughter from the spectators, turning a serious ceremony into a comedic spectacle. Even the usually stern queen couldn't resist a chuckle at her husband's discomposure. Yet, even as laughter filled the hall, the castle's ancient seer, Eldenia, interpreted this as the awakening of the last elemental guardian and the looming shadow of an ancient prophecy. A prophecy that spoke of an impending darkness that would rise alongside the guardian's awakening. Deep within the castle, locked away within the secret archives, Eldenia found the prophecy. When the last elemental guardian awakens, so shall the ancient darkness rise. A chilling realization fell upon the kingdom of Aria. Thus, the stage was set. The spirited and klutzy Seraphina had a destiny far greater and far more perilous than she had ever imagined. Little did she know, the fate of Aria was about to lie in her hands. Chapter 2. Prophecy and Power. In the bustling heart of Aria, amidst the laughter and revelry following the infamous wig incident, Eldenia, the castle's seer, began preparing for the ominous destiny that the prophecy foretold. Bereft of joviality, her eyes clouded with anxiety as she navigated the labyrinthine corridors towards the royal court. Meanwhile, Seraphina was grappling with her wildly unpredictable powers. Her lessons, under the tutelage of the royal magician Gallius, were filled with hilarity and pandemonium. One minute, she was capable of summoning a light breeze. The next, she was unintentionally unleashing a miniature whirlwind, much to Gallius's exasperation. Her earth powers were just as unforgiving, with the occasional earthquake threatening the castle's impeccable flower beds. Despite her clumsiness, her ability to tap into the fifth element intrigued Gallius. It was the elusive element of ether, the celestial energy that linked the earthly and the divine. However, as powerful as it was also equally unstable, and in Seraphina's inexperienced hands it was both a bane and a boon. It was on a day of seemingly unending mishaps, including a disastrous attempt at water magic which had left Gallius soaked, and a statue of Olaf remarkably enhanced by a misdirected vine, that Eldinia finally found Seraphina. Eldinia gravely relayed the prophecy to her, revealing the impending doom that hung over Aria. Far from being terrified, Seraphina felt a surge of determination. The clumsy, cheerful maiden was also a fierce daughter of Aria, and she wasn't about to let her kingdom fall. With renewed resolve, Seraphina began to train harder. She ventured into the depths of the ancient forests, learning the language of the winds and the whisper of the streams. She climbed the highest peaks, listening to the wisdom of the mountains. She spent her nights under the star-drenched skies, connecting with the ethereal energy of the cosmos. The challenges she faced were gigantic. Her attempts to harness the elements led to unforeseen adventures and encounters with the most unlikely of allies. Among the wild, she found friendship with a majestic golden griffin, Lysander, who aided her in mastering the element of air. In the heart of the enchanted forest, she danced with Iris, a water nymph, who taught her to move fluidly and harness the element of water. Throughout her trials and training, Seraphina discovered the power of unity and balance. To truly control her powers, she had to accept her imperfections and find harmony within herself. Despite difficulties and numerous comedic missteps, Seraphina embraced each challenge with courage and grace, growing stronger, wiser, and more steadfast each day. It was this journey that prepared her for the impending darkness that sought to engulf Aria. And as she harnessed her powers, her spirit remained unbroken, her resolve unshaken. Little did she know, the real test was yet to come. Chapter 3. The Triumph of the Guardian. As the days turned into weeks, Seraphina's control over her powers grew, but so did the ominous threat lurking in the shadows. News of mysterious disappearances, strange happenings, and the rise of malevolent creatures reached the castle. Undeniably, the ancient darkness was awakening, threatening to shroud Aria in its icy grasp. One chilling evening, the castle walls trembled, and the sky turned a dark, ominous shade. The ancient evil had arrived, taking the form of a colossal, shadowy beast that roared with a force that echoed through the valleys and forests of Aria. Panic ensued, but Seraphina, though internally rattled, stood tall, her eyes alight with fierce resolve. With the kingdom watching, she stepped onto the grand balcony, her heart beating like a war drum. Summoning her powers, she called forth a gust of wind so strong it pushed the beast back, followed by a ring of fire, then a barrier of earth. But with every attack, the beast regained its ground, its power seemingly unaffected by the elements. In the heart of the battle, Seraphina remembered Gallius's teaching. The elements are not just tools of destruction, Seraphina. They are life. They are harmony. With this realization, she steadied her trembling hands, letting out a deep breath. Instead of attacking, she closed her eyes and began to sing an ancient lullaby, a melody that echoed the harmony of life itself. As her voice rose, swirling winds carried the melody to the furthest corners of the kingdom, shaking leaves, rustling feathers, and touching hearts. Seraphina felt the pull of the fifth element, the ether, and she gave in to the celestial energy, her body glowing with a divine aura. Suddenly, the air around her shimmered, the earth vibrated, and the fire in the hearths flickered rhythmically to her tune. Even the beast paused, its monstrous eyes reflecting the ethereal glow emanating from the young elemental guardian. With a final powerful note, Seraphina released a wave of serene, celestial energy that washed over the monstrous beast. The darkness shrank back, consumed by the wave of peaceful energy, and the beast, bathed in the divine light, began to diminish, its fearsome form evaporating into a storm of shadows that was quickly carried away by the enchanted wind. As the last strains of the melody faded, the sky began to clear, bathing Arya in a soft, welcoming light. The ancient darkness was no more. The kingdom erupted in celebration, the air filled with joyful cries and laughter. But no sound was more glorious than the relieved laughter of Seraphina herself. The young girl who had once sent the king's wig flying off with a gust of wind had saved her kingdom from an ancient evil. She was Arya's klutz, Arya's elemental guardian, Arya's savior. And thus, wrapped in the warm embrace of her newfound mastery and the love of her people, Seraphina's tale came to a triumphant end, leaving behind a story that would echo through the ages, an epic tale of courage, laughter, and harmony. After all, fairy tales are more enchanting when they are about klutzy heroines who rise to become saviors. And so, they all lived, laughed, and faced every challenge head-on, living happily ever after in the kingdom of Arya.